If you are planning to hit the skies, roads, or rails this weekend, you might want to catch your ride a little earlier this year because analysts are expecting record travelers across the board with nearly 42 million people leaving home this holiday weekend. Here to break down what to expect at the pump is Patrick DeHaan, senior petroleum analyst at GasBuddy.com. And covering the skies, we've got Seth Kaplan, managing partner at Airline Weekly. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us. Patrick, gas prices are a big story this year. Looking at our highest prices at the pump in 4 years, what do you expect across the country?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is the national average is going to get dangerously close to that $3 a gallon mark. I've been sitting in my office watching it tick higher this morning, $2.98 and 2/10. We may get to $3, but now, of course, today developing in the last couple of days, more talk about OPEC raising production, led by Saudi Arabia and Russia. That's helping to lead to perhaps a downturn now in oil, $67 a barrel. And we could see the national average peak for this summer, perhaps this weekend, so long as there's no unexpected other major disruptions this summer.
Still, it will be sticker shock to see those higher gas prices, almost $3 a gallon. How does that affect airlines, Seth? Are you seeing anything in terms of the airfares for the weekend, in terms of planning, as we have seen this run up in oil prices?
Yeah, airfares certainly aren't surging yet, and that right now means they're really squeezing airlines more than consumers. Airlines would like to see fares come up at some point to a point where they cover the difference, but you know, right now fares still a pretty good deal for consumers, and yet you know, fuel prices in historical terms anyway still low enough that it's a decent deal for airlines too. It's more toward the fall, the off-peak season, where airlines are thinking about, you know, they might have to cut capacity, try to squeeze up airfares some more to avoid seeing their margins erode. Right now, not a bad deal.
The economy's running pretty good here. We're going to have really packed planes this weekend?
We are. You know, AAA says 7% more travelers than last year. Airlines have scheduled about 4% more seats than last year. So the growth in seats, not as much as the growth in travelers. That means airplanes even more packed than usual for a holiday weekend. They're not all growing at the same rate. An airline like United, among the giants, growing more than its peers, American and Delta. Among the smaller airlines, Spirit Airlines growing 20-something%. So they're growing, but so is demand, as you said, thanks partly to that great economy.
Patrick, back to the driver. I mean, yes, we are seeing a drop in WTI as well as Brent in today's session. But for the most part, you know, what level does it take consumers to say, you know what, I'm not going to take that road trip. Maybe I'll take the train. Maybe I'll go, or maybe I won't go anywhere at all.
Yeah, motorists already feeling very squeezed. I think there's one theme here that's common. You're squeezed on the roads this holiday with traffic, squeezed on an airplane, squeezed at the gas pump. People are feeling pain. GasBuddy did a travel survey of summer travelers and found that 39% of respondents said that high gas prices are starting to impact their travel plans. So that anxiety is building. That's up, by the way, from 19% a year ago, and it's starting to have a little sticker shock, especially in the areas like California. The media has been covering now very expensive stations, $5 New York City, $5 in Orlando, and it may not get better anytime soon in terms of seeing gas prices come down. We could be in store for a little bit more pain.
I was just going to ask you about that. Oil prices are down roughly 4% today because there's talk that Russia and OPEC may pump more oil. If indeed we see this price decline hold, how long does it take before you see it at the pump?
Well, I think it'd probably take perhaps 5 days to start seeing the national average come down. But keep in mind, this is not necessarily a nail in the coffin for high gas prices. We still have to watch exactly what will happen with Iran, with sanctions and our allies, and how much more OPEC will be interested in producing. So far, this is being talked as OPEC going down, cutting production to compliance, of course, to cover for Venezuela. So I think even if OPEC is producing more crude oil, you're still going to see the priciest summer at the pump since 2014.
All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us ahead of the holiday weekend. Patrick DeHaan and Seth Kaplan.
Thank you.